Yes, welcome, welcome. We got this. We got this. Yes, 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 yes. Welcome, everyone. Oh my God. I always love to open with a dance party, open up the energy. It's so nice to see everyone here today. Wow, wow, wow. Becoming powerful healers, igniting our purpose, igniting our mission, spreading love and healing on the planet. Hallelujah. Okay, I would love to hear from you. Where in the planet are you right now? Where on the planet are you? Where are you coming in from? Let us know in the chat area. This is a global community. I have students, I have coaches that I have trained pretty much from every part of the planet. So a lot of that has to do with my outreach online, but also I travel a lot. I've been to Europe, Australia, USA, Mexico, Latin America, like so many places spreading this work. And so being able to bring everyone together in one place, zooming in from so many different places on the planet is so much fun. All right, we've got UK, Canada, Latvia. Wow, love this. Ireland, Spain, Romania, Mexico, Atlanta, Stockholm, New York, Norway, Ocean Shores, WA. Nice one. Wow, Norway, Michigan. So many. Deutschland, yes. Jermaine, nice to see you, sister. Hawaii, Vancouver, yes. UK, Lucy, Ohio. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So first of all, I want to thank you all for hearing the call, because something about this class resonated with you, whether it's my energy or the intention that's coming through me and my mission, because it resonates with you and your mission. And so today we're going to do a few things. We're going to light up your power. We're going to align you to your mission. We're going to enhance and expand your gifts as a healer. So no matter where you are in your journey as a coach, healer, mentor, mystic, you get to up level. I would love to hear from you in the chat. Where are you in your journey? Are you already a coach? Are you a healer? Are you a Reiki practitioner? Are you a hypnotherapist? Or are you just starting out and you're curious about tools and tapping has entered your world? I would love to hear from you in the chat. Let me know what you're up to. And I'm going to talk a little bit about my journey and my story and how I got to where I am today. And then I'm going to give you some codes that I've learned over the past 20 to 25 years of being in this industry, and some of the real deep gifts that I can pass on, that I love to pass on to those that I train. Okay, beautiful. Starting out, curious, jazz, starting out, coach, intuitive healer, beautiful, Dugal, Angelica, Kundalini bodywork, Qigong, Reiki, spiritual healing. I can resonate with so many of this. Kirsty, Dream Awake tapping coach, yes. Former massage therapist, 22 years, Reiki master, Victoria. Wow, I would love to sit and have tea with you one day and learn about all that you've discovered in that time. Medium and soul healer, beautiful. So there's so many different modalities that tapping complements, which is why I love this method. Just starting out, EFT tapping through your rituals. Oh, I love that, Mary. Yes, you did my rituals. You also did the personal peace process, I think, with me as well. Awesome. So I'm going to share a little bit about my story, just so that you guys can understand my journey to where I am today. And you might even see some similarities, because I think most healers go through a very similar journey. Most of us, put a little thumbs up in the chat if you can relate to this. We start out in our own healing journey. We start out trying to figure out our stuff, what has hurt us, what our pains are, trying to heal that. And that gets us really interested in these techniques that then we fall in love with, because we see how much they transformed us. And then we were like, wow, I want the whole world to know about this as well. And so that was a very similar story for me. I started out in my own healing journey, coming from sexual trauma as a child. and having a lot of PTSD from that early childhood wound, and then going into a lot of practices. But before that, before I even got into that, I always had the healer inside of me. And I'm sure many of you who are in healing or who are interested in healing can relate. Like, you're the type of person that just loves to sit and talk. You're really good at holding space. People often come to you with their challenges, and you can really just hold space for them. And I remember about 25 years ago, before I really entered the path, I was in a party era of my life. This was 25 years ago. And every time after a really big night, and taking drugs and being really scattered, people in my inner circle who were doing drugs and like really off would call me the next day and be having huge emotional processes. And I remember there was this one time earlier on where a man that I was friends with would often call me with suicidal tendencies, and he was like close to killing himself. And I was that person for him in that time of my life before I even became a healer, of like, okay, let me sit and have a conversation with you. Let me help you understand what you're going through. Let me hold peace. Let me hold love. Let me help you get to the other side. And that's before I even had any tools. I was already that kind of person that wanted to help. And so that is already deeply embedded inside of you. If you are meant to be a coach, a healer, that core impulse to want to help and support and hold space is already there. And that really is the biggest quality of what creates a powerful healer. So after exiting those times of my life, I started learning a lot of techniques. I spent so many years studying. I became a Reiki practitioner. I spent about 12 months living in India. I became a yoga teacher, a breathwork facilitator. I studied with Tony Robbins. I did NLP practices, learned a lot about visualization, creative manifestation, so many different techniques. And it wasn't until tapping entered the picture that all of it came together. Because I had some real trauma inside my system, I knew I had to figure myself out. And the techniques that I had practiced and had already begun teaching, I was already a yoga teacher. I was already doing a lot of these methods and teaching people these. When tapping entered, it was one of those tools that allowed me to get beneath the surface. So all of the other tools, which I actually integrate into my trainings, like I teach somatic movement, I teach visualization, meditation, NLP practices, because I have them all. But when tapping entered, it was a tool that allowed me to go beneath the surface and see what was creating all of the PTSD on the surface. So I was literally waking up in the middle of the night, smashing the window above my bed, thinking that there was an intruder breaking into my house. And I did this about 3 times, where I literally smashed the window, blood running down my arms. And I was like, what is going on inside my subconscious? Then tapping entered the picture, and I was able to work with what was on the surface, which was the PTSD. And PTSD expresses itself in many ways: limiting thought forms, limiting habits, emotional patterns, self-sabotage, relationship challenges, all sorts of ways that PTSD expresses itself. So for me, I actually had something that was very scary and threatening for my life. I lived on the 2nd floor. If I had jumped out of that window any of those times, I probably could have really hurt myself. So when tapping entered, it allowed me to see what I was numbing out. And I had a lot of memories from early sexual abuse that I didn't even know happened. And I realized that the subconscious blocks a lot of our pain, especially from early childhood, because we didn't know how to deal with it. No one was there to help us. And so we numb it, and then it lives in the subconscious, creating all this stuff on the surface. So tapping very quickly started pulling out all of those roots, and all of my PTSD disappeared. I then started using tapping on everything in my life, and my life massively took quantum leaps very quickly. And over the time of the last 20 years, it like really shot me into center stage. And I went from living in a little town in Australia to now sharing stage with some of my favorite healers, authorities in healing on the planet. I remember a couple of years ago, or about 3 years ago, when Mind Valley chose me to be their authority on emotional freedom technique tapping, and I produced my first program with them, tapping into emotional mastery. I remember that all of a sudden I was in a circle of real leaders in the industry, and I remember sharing stage with Donna Eden, who was one of my favorite authors when I first started learning about energy healing. And there I was on stage with people that I had completely looked up to, now sharing a method that had transformed me so much. And so all of a sudden I was like, wow, what is it that took me from having all of this trauma, all of this like pain, and also living in a very small town in rural Australia, to now being on a global stage and sharing a method that changed my life and now is changing thousands of people's lives. And I realized it was tapping. It was not only the method I was teaching, but it was tapping that transformed my blocks to be able to attract these opportunities. And then all of a sudden, I start interviewing people. I took Deepak Chopra on a tour around Colombia. I became Don Miguel Ruiz, the author of the Four Agreements. I began launching my programs with him in Colombia. We did a tour when I launched my book about 10 years ago. And then like people and all these leaders started to show up around me, and I realized like, wow, I'm really stepping into my leadership, and I'm really expanding and growing. And all of that, I really have to say, is like a huge amount of the support from tapping, and then the support that I've got from mentors along the way. And I spent about 3 years with my tapping teacher when I first began. I was her right-hand girl, and I traveled the world with her, doing all of her certifications and shooting them and producing them and helping her build her online school. So I was really close to her as a mentor. And then along the way, other mentors came in that helped me grow my business. And that was the shift as well. So coming from like healing my own stuff, really getting good at the art of healing, and then discovering how to actually bring it to the world, and then bringing in business mentors as well, that allowed me to really grow the mission. So that was a really deep journey for me, and it was a lot to really go through, and I'm continually growing and expanding. Like there is the sky is the limit in what we can share. And so now really my mission is to inspire other leaders, to inspire other coaches, so that they can magnify their gifts, so that they can spread healing on the planet, so that we can change the dimension that we're all in. This earth that we all chose to incarnate in right now has a lot of cleanup to do. There is thousands of years of history and programming and trauma patterns and wars and famine and all sorts of trauma that is still living in our systems as individuals and as a collective. And we've all got our own things that we're individually healing through, which a lot of the time that is part of our mission and becomes part of what we share in the world and we help others with. So for me, when I first started my message, it was all about healing trauma, because I had healed my trauma. And then as I grew, I was like, okay, now my message is about training others to heal the world, because I want this planet to really have a big shift. And each of you, I know you feel it inside your being, that there's work to be done. There's so much shift that needs to happen on the planet, and we can't do it alone. We have to build an army of angels across the planet to spread so much deep love and cohesion. which is why when we go into some of the discussion today, we're going to learn why it's so important to not only have amazing tools, but to be the cohesion ourselves. So we are vibrating at deep states of peace as number one. And then all of the joy and all of the celebration can come from that. But we're able to hold fields so the fields around us can also transform. So after doing a lot of one-on-ones, I really branched out and began doing a lot of live in-person events and creating really beautiful spaces of cohesion. So I just got back from the Mind Valley University event in Estonia, and those events can have up to 800 or 1,000 people in an audience. And a couple of years ago at their event, I had an opportunity to hold space for 800 people as they all went through a really deep healing process. And for many of you who've been following my work, see what I'm up to. And I really am here to inspire everyone to know that it is possible to do it, and that you are born with this mission for a reason, and there's no lack of work on this planet. We have got the perfect job right now because we will never be out of work in our life, at least. I would love to say that all of us could be out of work at some point, because that would mean the whole world would be healed. But there's a lot of work to do, and there's a lot of people, and there's a lot of organizations, there's a lot of corporations that are seeking to up level and transform their businesses, their own individual healing, their habits, their patterns, their emotions. Everyone is looking for it right now. And so it's the perfect time for us to really bring our gifts, heighten our gifts, trust ourselves deeply. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into a little discussion around sacred wisdom. And one of the things that I really pride myself on with this method, which you'll learn a little bit about if you haven't been working with me much before, is really bringing in the sacredness to this work. And there are so many different tapping methods out there. And one thing that I hear over and over again is the work that I bring is really deep. And it really allows us to look at a lot of the stuff under the surface, because if we can really clear it from underneath the surface, not just topically by saying affirmations, but by actually going in and clearing out those roots that I was talking about and using it as fertile soil for new things to grow, that's when our planet grows into something totally new. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump on over into my little presentation. We're going to talk about what it takes to become a powerful healer and some of the things that you can bring into your life as a coach, as a healer, either starting out on the path or even if you're well and seasoned. These tools are infinitely deep. These are tools that I use every day of my life for myself as well as in my sessions, and there's no end to how much you can use them because they keep getting deeper the more you practice them. So I'm going to pop on over and we'll share this now. So this is sacred wisdom to become a powerful healer using EFT tapping. So what makes a powerful healer? In summary, my belief, to make a powerful healer, you have to have the ability to facilitate lasting transformation in others through physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual healing. So I haven't left out anything. It's not just like, let's do a physical healing, let's give a massage, or let's do some talk therapy, or let's have a ecstatic dance experience. It's how do we bring it all together? Because when you bring physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual healing together in one place, that's when you really get a lasting shift. And it's really important to be able to work on all levels, which is why so many of my studies over the years have really focused on many of these different modalities and how tapping brings them all together. Okay, so how does a healer facilitate powerful healing? Okay, they're able to move someone out of trauma, stuck emotional patterns, ancestral imprints, early childhood pain, limiting beliefs, and addictive habits, and to move them out of those and into success, into love, into joy, safety, confidence, and new timelines of expansion, growth, and fulfillment in a client's life. And that's why I love the style that I teach so much, because some tapping is really good, and a lot of them healing modalities are really great at healing a lot of this stuff, you know. But it's like, once it's healed, what are you inviting in? Because the true transformation happens once you clear the stuff and then invite in the results. And so it's about bringing both of these together. It's really hard to invite the results if you have some really deep stuck emotional patterns in there, if you have some childhood pain in your subconscious still creating limiting beliefs for you, right? And so that's why working with a method that allows you to clear all of that stuff out so that there is space for this stuff to enter. When you clear this stuff out, it is so much easier to wire the new love, the new joy, the new confidence, the new growth into your life, because you are no longer competing with what is stuck in the subconscious, which is why I feel it's super important to really have both of these. And it's not just about what's in our mind, it's what's stored in our body as well. So when there is a trauma, not only does the wiring in the brain set up to have fear-based systems, but the body holds certain positions as well. When I started healing my sexual trauma, I noticed that my hips were holding so much protection in them. When I cleared out some of the memories, my hips realigned because it was stored in my physical body, and my physical body was still trying to protect myself from the original trauma. So when it cleared out, my hips opened up. Guess what? My sensuality opened up, my connection to my sexuality in a clean, beautiful, sacred, erotic, safe space entered inside my body because I was no longer holding it in my hips. So that's an example of how when we clear it out, we open space for more of that beauty to come through our bodies as well. So what else? Effectively working with tools like tapping, breathwork, somatic movement, NLP that actually support healthy shifts in the nervous system, the brain tissue, the emotional, mental, and spiritual bodies. So as I mentioned, there are many different kinds of techniques that can help. Whether you want to shift your belief system around something, NLP could be really great. Whether you want to shift your physical body, whether you want to rewire your brain, there's so many different techniques. But when you start bringing them all together, wow, that's when things start shifting really rapidly, which is why I love to bring, when I'm doing tapping, when I'm training others, I like to bring all of the modalities that I learned and complement them. And I see a lot of my coaches that enter into my programs that are already hypnotherapists or Kundalini teachers. And then they're like, oh, I didn't feel like I could blend my methods before. But when you master a method and you master another method, you automatically see that they can complement each other, and you find ways to make them complement. So that's what I've done with my practice. And I invite all of my coaches to do. You know, everyone has their gifts. And so how can we blend all of our gifts to make one massive party of healing? And then really the most important thing, aside from a technique, if you can really embody the transformation, the more you embody in your own life, the more you become an embodiment for others to template off. So when you are guiding a session with someone, if you are embodying that in your energy field, they can feel that energetically without you even having to say anything, which is why it's super powerful to have a method like tapping, because it allows you to embody it in yourself. And one of the things that I love to share, and I watch all of my students go through as well, which is mirror tapping. So if you've ever done a tapping session, or you've ever led someone through a tapping session, or you've watched me lead a tapping session, you'll notice as the facilitator, you're also tapping on your body, you're speaking the words out loud to support your client. But while you're doing that, you're giving yourself a session at the same time, which is why often after a tapping session, I have more energy, I have more clarity. I've also healed myself based on what they were healing, because I was actually doing the practice on myself. And so there's an amazing embodiment that happens just by sharing it with others. So you have this tool to not only heal yourself, to help others heal. And then as you start healing the world around you, you continue to go through upgrades. All right, so let's talk about the 3 practices that we're going to go over today. And you're going to get an experience of them with me as well. We're going to do a session together. You're going to see what they're like. And then you're also going to learn, and you can take them out into the world with you as well. They're very simple. And one of the things that I always love to say is, like, the simpler it is, the more wise it is. The more complicated it is, often the less potent it is, because not everyone can understand complex. But when you can bring things down to simplification, that's when you can really support so many people. So let's talk about the first step. One of the things that I find so many of us move through, especially when you are a coach, a healer, a mentor, is letting go of that self-sabotage, that self-doubt, that procrastination, that imposter syndrome, and recognizing that it is not about you. It is about being of service. And when you can shift out of your head of, am I saying the right thing? Are they going to be okay? I'm afraid that I'm going to re-trigger them, and actually get all of that out of your mind and really show up that I am here to be of service. That's when everything shifts. And it not only shifts inside the healing practice itself, but it shifts in how you show up in the world. Because I also notice, because we do a lot of business training in my programs, is that so many new coaches, or even coaches that have been doing it for a while but maybe don't have like a huge voice out in the world, they're getting referrals but they want to grow their online, or they want to share in larger public settings, a lot of the time they're afraid of judgment. They're afraid of like looking silly. They're afraid that they're not going to sound educated, like all of this stuff, right? And that's all coming back to, I'm afraid of what the outside world thinks of me. When we let go of, I'm afraid of the outside world, I'm afraid that of my client, and just recognize, no, I am here to be of service, and really holding that frequency inside of our field as the primary energy, things start to really shift. Opportunities show up for you because you are no longer energetically self-sabotaging yourself. If there's any place inside of you that doesn't believe that you can do it, you are energetically going to repel opportunities. When you get into a real deep place, and it's not even like I can do it, it's like I'm of service. And whatever people think, however they react, it doesn't matter, because I'm of service. When that really becomes the deep embodiment, which is why you're doing it in the first place, right? Which is why you chose to be a coach or a healer. You chose it because you want to be of service. So these limiting beliefs of like, I can't do it, I'm going to get judged, what if I make a mistake, all of that stuff is just very old programming that has nothing to do with your mission. And when we start tapping on it, we're going to do some tapping on it today, you'll actually see that it probably has more to do with childhood wounds about being rejected at school, rejected in relationships, rejected from family members, for showing up with love, for showing up with presence. Because not everyone was always able to receive us earlier on in life, or even today. And oftentimes we get rejected, or we get criticized, we get laughed at, or we get told that we're wrong. We go into a protection mechanism that says, well, I'm not going to show up that much again, just in case that happens. Versus saying, no, I'm showing up in love, I'm showing up in service, and that is what I'm here to do. So some of the things that you can bring into your own practice as you prepare yourself with that new level of confidence is, my love and presence can support this session. I am available to whatever arises, and I trust the journey that my client is on. So sometimes when we don't have all of the tools or all the confidence in our healing practice, we might feel fear that our client might go through something that we're unable to hold space for. And as a result of that, we may either not go so deep with our clients, we may stay on the surface, or we may not attract a clients because we don't want to see what would arise with them because we might not be able to handle it, right? So when we do some tapping practice, which we'll do today around, I can hold space for whatever arises, that is when you really get to show up. And you're going to see how this also relates to your own journey, that you can hold space for yourself no matter what arises. If there's a breakup, if there's a death in the family, if you just lost your job, I am available for whatever arises. I can hold space for it, which is the same thing. I trust the journey my client is on. No matter what is coming up, I can hold love and presence. Love and presence is the thing that helps all of that stuff dissolve, which moves into these next statements, which you're going to practice with your clients as well as yourself. Even though I feel this way, I love and accept myself exactly as I am. So these are very simple tapping statements, but they have profound effects. So it's not about being fancy. It's about bringing people back into the deepest spaces of love and acceptance for themselves so that they can then have a fresh start to create something new. So even though this happened to me, I am still worthy of love. All of the self-doubt, all of the traumas that have happened once before often make us think that we're not worthy of love. And when we think we're not worthy of love, all of the patterns, all of the habits, all of the limiting beliefs, all of the self-sabotage starts to happen. So we want to rewire what happened. We want to rewire the memories to say, even though that happened, even though I got rejected, even though I failed at that, even though they laughed at me, even though I made a mistake, I am still worthy of love. And even though I have these negative thoughts, I'm still a good human being. So all of this comes back to very basic human needs of self-love and self-respect, that we might be down on ourselves. Our clients might be down on ourselves. We might be criticizing ourselves. And rather than telling ourselves that these negative thoughts are wrong, we bring them back into we're still worthy of love. And we remind ourselves and our clients that we're still good human beings, even though we're suffering, even though we've got these limitations, even though this happened, that we are still a good human being at the very basic level. So this is the foundation for everything to grow. So these are some of the great tapping scripts that we use. And then one thing that I'm going to share with you today, which a lot of tapping doesn't really bring into the mix, which is the power of breath. So when we are tapping, we're basically stimulating meridians on the body. These are the energy lines in the body, which have been studied over 5,000 years ago. This is basically your energetic suit. So in Chinese medicine, if you've ever had acupuncture, they place needles on these points, these meridian points on the body to clear out stagnation along these points. So science has also shown that these points are linked to all of the nervous system. So the nerve bundles have been found to be also where these needle points are, where these acupressure points are. So not only you're clearing out the energetic system, you're clearing out the nervous system, as I mentioned before, because the nervous system is holding a lot of memory too. And one of the things that goes with the meridian system is prana. So life force energy moves through this meridian system into our body. It comes through oxygen. It comes through the life force of all of creation. And that oxygen that we breathe in carries prana. And prana and oxygen help flush the system, which is why breath is so important to combine with tapping. And a lot of tapping that you'll see out there, don't do deep breaths. Don't combine breathing into it. It's all about the mind. I love and accept myself. I'm worthy of love. I can do this. I believe in myself, which is great for rewiring the brain. What about the nervous system? We want to flush the system with oxygen, and we want to support the system to move more quickly, right? And there are many different kinds of breath that you can bring into a tapping session as well. And because I spent hundreds of hours studying breath work, living in India, doing a lot of pranayama. I learned about the different kinds of breath that can support a healing process. And I know that there's a lot of breathwork facilitators out there and they learn one style of breath, but a lot of them don't get trauma informed when it comes to working with breath. And some breath works can actually stir up and trigger more trauma when actually you want to lower the energy, slow down the energy, which is why different kind of breath rhythms can help if you know the right ones to use at the right time. And that's one thing that I share in my trainings as well, how to work with breath depending on what's arising in a session. So here's a couple of little pieces. So long, deep breaths and sighs, which you're going to hear and experience today throughout the session. I'm going to say, take a long, deep breath, release a big sigh. That's going to help clear out the trauma from the meridian system and the nervous system. Long, deep breaths and holds. So take a deep breath, hold the breath. Now exhale the breath. That helps reset the system. So if someone's going through a panic attack, for example, you don't want them to do really rapid breathing because they're already panicking. They're already moving a lot of energy. You want to have them slow down. So you have them take a long, slow breath, hold the breath, slowly let out the breath. So as you can see, that helps slow down the anxious reaction to whatever's arising on the surface. Rapid breathing is amazing if you want to heighten your clarity, if you want to clear the field, if you want to bring more energy into the system. So these are some of the breath works that I like to share, and they really support in many different ways. And you can try these in your own emotional process as well. So this is what we're going to do today. We're going to go over this. We're going to have a little practice of it together. After the session, I'm going to let you guys know, anyone that wants to stay on, we're opening up our early bird for my tapping certification, and we're going to open that up to just a few people as we get ready to enter into that vortex. But if you just want to stay and learn some of these techniques, this is for you as well. We're going to spend about 30 to 40 minutes doing a process together. And this process is all about aligning to your power as a healer, getting out of the way, recognizing why you're here, and enhancing your capacity to hold deep sacred space, to be intuitive in healing sessions, and to know that you can hold yourself and anyone through anything that is arising. And that is what makes a powerful healer. Okay, so what we're going to do right now is I'm going to ask you to switch off your phones or turn them into silent mode. Get yourself comfortable so that you can actually go into the process with me. And know that in the middle of the session might feel the most intense because I'm going to be asking you to look at a lot of emotions. It's going to feel a little bit uncomfortable, but part of the healing process is being able to draw it to the surface so that we can flush it out of the system. I know that there are a lot of methods out there that don't like to look at the negative, but what we're doing is we're bringing love to the negative. So the love meets the negative, meets the fear. The love holds it all, and then the fear drops away and heals itself. When you try to push the negative away, you often numb it, you often label it as wrong, you often shame yourself, and then it still lives in the background of your subconscious, creating self-sabotage. So we're not doing that anymore. We're saying everything is welcome. Every single thing is welcome in the arms of my love, and I'm going to hold it all in the arms of my love. So I'm going to pop some music on to get us started. And let's all just settle in. So you've had a little bit of education now, and now is the somatic process. And so oftentimes, and I often do this in my trainings as well, we'll go into one side of the brain, the right side of the brain, which is intellectual. It understands all the information, but then we actually want to have a physical experience of it. So we actually embody it and we know that it works, right? And so this is the part of the class where you actually get to feel it in your body. And so to start with, we're just going to do a little bit of breath work. We're going to open up with some breath. I'm going to ask you some questions, and then we're going to go into the session as well. Okay. Beautiful. So let's all just take a moment and center ourselves in, closing our eyes for a moment. Taking some long, slow, deep breaths into the belly, all the way up to the third eye. Exhale with some sighs. Deep breath into the belly, into the chest, into the third eye. Hold the breath. Exhale with a sigh. Rest your hand on your belly so you can feel your belly expand. Inhale to the belly, into the chest, into the third eye. Hold the breath. Exhale with a sigh. Once more into the belly, fill it up. Into the chest, into the third eye. Hold the breath. Exhale with a sigh. Rubbing the hands together, inhaling. Exhale, blow it out through your mouth. Inhale, like a cannonball, exhale it out. Once more, inhale. Exhale, blow it out. Placing the hands on the chest, feel yourself center into your body. Feeling this space with yourself. Feeling into this intention in your life to be of service. Feel into that core impulse within you to heal and to help others heal. And now tune into what comes up for you when it comes to showing up to really support others, to share your message with the world, to share your intuitive gifts, to hold deep present space with those that need it. Tune into what it is that gets in your way. What is it? Is it a belief? Is it a thought? Is there procrastination? Is there self-doubt? Is there hiding? Is there fear of hurting someone? What comes up for you around really being able to hold deep space? And I want you to write that in the chat for me right now. What is it that blocks you from really stepping into the power of being a deep present healer and to bring your gifts into sessions, into the world? What is it that's holding you back? I want to hear it. Write it in the chat area. Taken advantage of, self-doubt, most not sure what I can do, fear of judgment, they will leave me, procrastination, lack of belly, limiting beliefs, not being liked, having to prove myself. No one will listen. Racism, thought of not being good enough, self-doubt, confidence and fear, not believing in myself, not ready, not believing in myself. So I'm seeing a lot of not believing in ourselves. So we're going to look at that today. Hatred towards the people who put me down for wanting to do good. Thank you for your honesty, Judah. Not a therapist. I can't really hold heavy circumstances. self-doubt, fear of rejection, lack of belief in the process. Okay, let's start. I want you all to start massaging underneath the collarbone here. And I want you to tune into what you just wrote down. And we're going to do a call and response. You're going to repeat after me. If the word isn't accurate, just change the word to match what you feel. Even though I really want to step in, saying this out loud, repeating after me. Part of me has been holding myself back. Even though I really want to step in, part of me has been holding myself back. Tapping the center of the chest. I've been holding myself back because, and tell me what yours is, whatever you wrote into it. I've been holding myself back because. Tapping between the brows. I've been holding myself back because. Tell me what that is out loud. And that's been making me shrink my light. I've been doubting myself. Tapping the temples. I've been doubting my capability. Tapping the cheeks. I've been doubting my capability. Tapping underneath the nose. I've been shrinking and hiding my power. As a healer. Because I'm afraid of what? What are you afraid of? Tell me what that is. Tapping underneath the lips. I am afraid of, tell me what that is. I am afraid of, say it out loud. I am afraid of, let's bring it to the surface so we can clear it out. So we're going to really draw it to the surface right now. I am afraid of. Tapping the center of the chest. I am afraid of. And that makes me feel what? What are the limiting emotions that arise around this? What emotions are you having? I feel sad. I feel stuck. I feel disempowered. I feel hopeless. I feel fear. I am scared. I'm worried. I'm overwhelmed. What is it for you? I feel really. Tune into the emotional component of it. I feel terror. Feel into what that feels like in your body. Feel that emotion in your body right now. Lean into the texture of it. Tune into the sensation of it. If it had a texture, what would the texture be? Is it heavy? Is it prickly? Is it sharp? Is it oozy? Is it festering? Is it metallic? Feel what that feels like in your body right now. Feel the sensation of that. And then say it out loud. It feels really, say what that feels like. Tapping the front of the ribs. It feels really. And lean into that sensation in your body right now. And I've been thinking, what have you been thinking? Say out loud what you've been thinking. I've been thinking, I'm not good enough, it's too hard, I'll make a mistake. What have you been thinking? I've been thinking. Tapping the side of the ribs. I've been thinking. And that's making me feel, tell me what it's making you feel. And that's been shutting down my healing power. That's been shutting down my capacity to help. All of this fear and uncertainty, all of this terror is holding back my ability to help. Tapping the side of the wrist, and I forgive myself for being stuck here. I forgive myself for holding back. I'm still worthy of love. Tapping the side of the thumb, I'm still worthy of love. Tapping the next finger, I'm still worthy of love. Tapping the middle finger, I'm still worthy of love. Tapping the opposite side of the next finger, I'm still worthy of love. Tapping the inside of the little finger, I'm still worthy of love. Tapping the side of the hand, I'm still worthy of love. Tapping the top of the head, I'm still worthy of love. I am still worthy of love. I am still worthy of love all around the head. Take a big deep breath, release a big sigh. Tapping between the brows. Even though I've been struggling with this upper limit. Tapping the temples, even though I've been holding back my full power. I forgive myself. Big deep breath, big sigh. Tapping the cheeks. And I'm ready to clear this out once and for all. No matter how long I've held back my power. No matter how long I've held back my love and care. I'm ready to clear this out. So I can show up with more love and care. Tapping underneath the nose. I'm ready to clear out the struggle. Tapping underneath the lips so I can trust myself. Okay, so I want you to tune into the limiting beliefs that you've been having and the fears that are coming up for you around not believing in yourself, not having the confidence, doubting yourself, all of the procrastination. And I want you to tune into how that feels in your body. And I want you to tune into how that holds you back in showing up more fully in a healing session, in helping others. How that's holding you back in procrastination, holding you back in your love. Tapping the center of the chest. And I want you to tune into the earliest memory you can find right now where you felt like it wasn't safe to fully show up with your presence and love. Where you felt like it wasn't safe to really show up for someone. Perhaps they didn't believe that you could help. Perhaps they judged you. Perhaps they pushed you away. I want you to tune into your earliest memory right now of feeling that. Of feeling like I can't do it. It's too hard. I probably shouldn't try. It's wrong to even try. Taking a big, deep breath in, release a big sigh. And then as you tune into that memory right now, I want you to see it as if it's happening on a movie screen in your mind. Who is there? What is taking place? Where you got shut down and you started to doubt your capacity to help others in the world. The time when you started to think, maybe I shouldn't try. Perhaps someone said something to you or something happened. It all started when, and tell me when that started for you. Tapping the front of the ribs. It all started when. I want you to tell me the story right now of what was taking place. Who was involved? What did they say that made you doubt? That made you hold back? Tell me what was happening. Where were you? How old were you? Tapping the side of the ribs. It all started when. Tell me what that is. And the worst part about that memory was what? Tapping the side of the wrist. The worst part about that memory was, tell me what that was. Tapping the side of the thumb. That's when I started believing what? What did you start believing about yourself and your power in that moment? That's when I started believing tapping the next finger. And that's been impacting me ever since. I've been holding back my full power ever since. Tapping the next finger. I've been holding back my full power ever since. I've been doubting my capacity ever since. And what have you been doing ever since? How did that impact you? Because what happened? Tell me what that is. And that made me feel what? What did that make you feel when that happened? Bring that feeling to the surface as if you're feeling it right now. Feel it in your body. And imagine a big blanket of compassion holding you in that right now. A big loving blanket holding you in that moment. And take a big deep breath in, release a big sigh. Good. Tapping the opposite side of the next finger. I love and deeply accept myself right here. Tapping the inside of the little finger. I love and deeply accept myself. Even though that happened. Big, deep breath in, big sigh. Tapping the side of their hand. And what I really needed in that moment was what? What did you need in that moment that would have helped you? I really needed. I really needed. I really needed. Let's say it out loud. Voice it out loud. I really needed. What did you need that would have given you the confidence? What did you need that would have supported your power coming through? What did you need? I really needed. But I didn't get it. And I really needed it. Big, deep breath in, big sigh. Ah, good. Tapping the top of the head. And it's possible I was worthy of it. It's possible that would have helped me. I really needed. And that would have really helped me. Big, deep breath, big sigh. Ah. Good. Tapping between the brows. It's possible I was worthy of that. Tapping the temples. I was worthy of. Tell me what you were worthy of receiving in that moment. Tapping the cheeks. Even though they didn't know how to give it to me. Because they were suffering. They didn't know how to give it to me. Because they were suffering. They didn't know how to give it to me. Because they were suffering. Tapping underneath the nose. And I'm still worthy of it. And I forgive them for not knowing how to give me what. Tapping underneath the lips. I'm giving it to me now. I am giving it to me now. I am giving myself. What are you giving that you needed from the other person? It's possible if I give it to myself, I'll feel better. And I might be able to help more. Tapping the center of the chest. I might have more energy to give if I give it to myself first. I might have more energy to give if I give it to myself first. Yes. I might be able to help more if I give it to myself first. And I forgive myself and I forgive them for shrinking the power. I forgive them for not knowing the truth. I'm ready to give myself what? What are you ready to give yourself first? Big, deep breath, big sigh. Ah, good. You guys ready to power yourself up now? Because as coaches, as healers, often we're working with people that are in a disempowered place in the same way. And we can believe they're a disempowered place, or we can remember the truth and remind them of the truth. We can embody the truth and show them how to embody the truth. We can remember who we truly are and remind them of who they truly are. And we get to be the leaders because not everyone is a leader yet. And so we get to stand in that, even when others don't know. And that's why we chose to be the leaders that we're here to be. First, by giving it to ourselves. I'm ready to give myself, what did you need from that situation that you weren't getting? I'm ready to give myself because I'm worthy of it. And it's going to help everything. I'm ready to give myself, tell me what it is. Tapping the front of the ribs because I'm worthy of it. I am worthy of, tell me what that is. Yes. I am worthy of, tell me what it is. Big, deep breath in, big sigh. Beautiful. And now imagine right now, in that moment, where they weren't giving it to you, where they were trapped, where they didn't know. I want you to imagine in that moment when all felt lost for you, when you started to doubt, that you look over into the corner of the frame of that moment. And you look over and you see your healed, empowered, loving, higher self, who is here to change lives and transform the world and bring love to this dimension and shift the frequency so everyone remembers their power. I want you to see that version of yourself watching what just took place. With all of their love and compassion, all of their understanding. And I want you to see them right now walk over to you in that moment when you started to shrink like the people in that scenario. And I want you to see them get down on your level and wrap their arms around you and pull you into their chest and give you a great big loving embrace, a big deep hug of encouragement and support and care. And I want you to feel all of their love holding you in that moment. I want you to feel all of their care and all of their support in that moment. Take a big, deep breath, release a big sigh. Beautiful. Tapping the side of the ribs. And I want you to see your future self right now. Look at you in the eyes. In that moment, your healed, loving future self who is transforming lives, that knows the capacity and the depth of their power. And I want you to see them look into your eyes right now. And as they look at you, gazing with so much love, what do they want to share with you? What is their message for you in that moment? Tapping the side of the wrist. What are they saying to you in that moment? They're telling me, tell me what they're telling you. And then go ahead and write that in the chat, and then coming back to tapping with me. They're telling me, yes, they're telling me, tapping the side of the thumb. They're telling me, thank you. I'm sorry. You can do this. Tapping the next finger, you are born to do this. Tapping the next finger, they're telling me, saying yours out loud, voice it, sing it, praise it, this message from your future self, the person you came here to be, the service that you came to bring to this planet, the way that you're supposed to show up because it's who you truly are. What are they saying? Tapping the opposite side, it's safe to speak my truth. Tapping the inside of the little finger, I'm ready to do this. And I want you to imagine that earlier version of you right now, getting the message, feeling the message, integrating the message. Tapping the side of the hand. What does it feel like to really get the message in? What does it feel like to really receive the message right now? Take a big, deep breath in, release a big sigh. I'm receiving this message. Beautiful. Another big, deep breath, big sigh. And I can trust this message. I can trust this message. Are you ready to let this message sink in deep? Are you ready to trust this message? Are you ready to let this message transform your life, the way you're showing up, and the world around you? Are you ready to touch millions of lives? Are you ready to let your love expand? Are you ready to let your gifts, your intuition, your availability, your presence heal this planet? Okay, so we're going to do this together. Take a big, deep breath in. Exhale with a big sigh. We're going to bring our hands out wide right now. We're going to inhale up. Bring all the energy like you're saying yes. Exhale, blow it out through the mouth. Inhale up again. Exhale it out. Feel the intention as you bring it up. Imagine yourself in this new energy. What does your life look like when you're saying yes? Inhale up. Exhale, blow it out. All right, we're going to go fast. And I want to imagine that you're creating your dreams right now. Let's go. Bringing it all into home base right now. Really imagine yourself gliding right now. See your vision right now taking place. Who are you touching? What does it look like in your world? Feel yourself breaking free from any of those chains, any of those blocks right now as you clear the field. Feel yourself gliding in that new picture. What does the new picture look like? Physically, what is happening in this new picture? Really lift it up. Keep going. You got this. We're going to do this for one more minute. You got this. Abundance is energy. I want you to see your life changing. All the lives that are being affected right now. I want you to see the opening of new portals, the opening of new relationships, opportunities, you showing up with your power, you touching lives, you expanding, you telling the world what you're ready for, you standing in your truth, you standing in your knowing that you're ready. This is time. Inhale, exhale, let's go. Blow it out. Inhale, slowly lift it all up. Inhale, lift it all up. Hold the breath. I want you to see the vision right now. And I want you to see anything that you're pushing out of your field right now so new opportunities can open up. And I want you to see and feel what it looks like when you're in that embodied state. Exhale, blow it out, brush the field. Bringing one hand to the belly, one hand to the chest. Bringing your attention, your gaze to the third eye. Feel the field expanded all around you. Nothing but light. Feel the alignment of your spirit and why you are here. Feel all the energy and the love of the universe pouring down through your crown. Beautiful liquid light into your field right now, delivering you the codes for your expansion. Feel yourself receiving this light through the crown into your body, expanding your field. And feel as that light pours in through your body, your field becoming vaster, more expanded. Feel your energy field filling up your room, the town that you're in, the country you're in, across seas, and this light that you're emanating, holding the whole planet and expanding beyond. In this space, I want you to see the vision that your spirit is holding for you right now, for your service. I want you to see what that looks like. And that there's nothing that could be more true than this right here, right now. Taking a deep breath in from the base of your spine all the way up that central column. Feel the alignment. Hold the breath. Feel your yes right now. Feel the yes. The yes to your soul's mission. Seeing all the right people, the right mentors, the right support, the opportunities, everything opening and expanding with the ease and grace on the purity of this intention that it is easy. Because you said it so. And that there are no boundaries, there are no blocks, there's nothing but expansion right now, and it is here. And in this space, we feel the deepest levels of gratitude for knowing this mission, this service, our gifts, the purity of our hearts, our ability to love and support the world around us in the transformation that is taking place on this planet, and that we are a part of that. We are a part of the change. Taking one more deep breath in and then exhaling. Taking one more deep breath in. Exhaling with a sigh. And I want you just to share anything that came through in the chat right now in this experience with you. As we step into these frequencies of light that expand us and expand the service that we're bringing to the world, that we get to both expand ourselves, and as we expand ourselves, we get to expand others. And that is why this kind of work is the most potent and powerful and beautiful work. Because we benefit, the world benefits, everyone wins. And this is why this kind of work, to me, is one of the most beautiful things we can choose to do, because we continue to love ourselves more and more while showing others to do the same. Beautiful. Acceptance and gratitude. I'm worthy. My vision happening. Open to yes. Expansion. Yes, I can do this. Oh, wow. Never felt this before. Yes, forgave others. Beautiful, angel. So this is part of the work that I teach through my trainings. And if you spoke to anyone in my programs, they would tell you that it is a combination of not only understanding the practical side of how to do a technique, but how to upgrade and up-level your frequency so that you can actually create a higher level of impact. And that is why 3 years ago, I decided to create a 6-month training. Before that, I would do 10-day certification trainings. And I realized having a deeper container to support people through over a 6-month period is what really helps everyone step up into their mastery. And so what I'm going to share with you today, if you want to stay on and learn a little bit about my program, we'll spend about 10 minutes just discussing what we're about to open up. We do this once a year, and it is my tapping certification. It is my pride, my joy, my heart, my soul, and everyone that we bring into these containers becomes my family, and we all become family together. And it is such a joy to welcome other healers and those on the path into this family with me. So I'm going to jump into just sharing the invitation page of what this is all about, so that you can learn a little bit more about the certification and to see if this is really something that you want to go deeper into and devote yourself to grow into. So let me open this up. Beautiful. So this is my tapping certification. It's really such a gift to the world. I love it so much. It's what lights me up every day. And I'm going to tell you why. Okay, so this is a 6-month program that allows you to step into your fullest healing power within your own life and in the world around you, while also building skill sets to magnify your impact through business. And so one of the things that became very clear for me after studying so many modalities is the missing piece was the business piece. And it's important, if we really want to have high impact, to combine the two, which is why this program became a 6-month program, because it combines not only expanding your gifts, but it also shows you how to expand it out into the world through business. So throughout the program, we're going to leave a little link in there. Vader, if you want to leave a link, that's the URL. So there's basically 4 phases to the program over the 6 months. One is mastering your own emotions. So as I spoke about at the start of the program, this is all about your own embodiment, discovering the tools, practicing the tools with yourself and with others in the program to really be the embodiment of change so that you can embody it for your clients and those that you're supporting. We then go into creating life-transforming one-on-one sessions. You'll learn all of the different techniques that I teach, the tapping techniques, as well as all of the other modalities, the breath work, the NLP, the somatic movement, all the things that complement a tapping session. You'll also learn how to lead powerful group classes, similar to what we just did today Also group classes in person as well, how to do an in-person event, how to lead large groups of people through an emotional process together, which is actually very different than doing one-on-one sessions because you're holding everyone's process, and many people might be focusing on lots of different kinds of things all at the same time. So you'll learn the difference between one-on-one and group with tapping. And then, like I said, you'll learn how to expand your coaching practice as well. So we'll go a little bit deeper into this. So the tapping essentials, which is phase 1, that's an 8-week container where you learn the basic essentials. After month 1, you will already be ready to start sharing tapping with the world because you will learn all of the tools, the basic tools in phase 1. And so at the end of phase 1, we take all of our students through a booking clients schedule calendar so that you can start reaching out to the world, start using your voice, start letting people know what you're up to. You can start either practicing with others in the group, doing tapping trades. You can start doing tapping with those in your life as well. Many people start adding it automatically into their coaching practice after phase 1. Phase 2 is where we start to go really deep. We start to look at all of the additional methods that I bring into tapping. There's 34 different techniques. This is over 6 weeks. You'll also really discover how to master the art and how to work through really difficult challenges that people might be going through. This is the deeper dive. You'll get tapping scripts, you'll get practice sessions, you'll learn about the somatic movement, how to bring music into your sessions, how to bring breath, NLP, how to heighten states of bliss through a session. Then we go into the coaching of the groups, which we just discussed. You'll learn intimacy exercises, how to create group cohesion, how to create a tapping experience for a group based on a specific niche, how to have practice sessions, small breakout groups, refine your skills. Throughout each of these phases, there's plenty of opportunities to practice with your peers. We have a WhatsApp group where everyone's scheduling sessions with each other and practicing together. We also have tapping assessments that move throughout the program as well, where you get direct feedback from us. And then phase 4 is all about the business of tapping. So this is learning how to sell your packages, create packages, do discovery calls. We also do a whole financial overview of your business. Like, what are your goals for the year? What do you want to make? How do you price your packages? How many hours do you want to work? How to design your lifestyle to complement your work? How does your work and your lifestyle actually move together? And that's one thing that I'm super passionate about because my work is naturally a part of my life. And so I've created my lifestyle to work with my business. Rather than doing a 9 to 5, I live it however I want to live it. And I encourage everyone to do the same, to design their lifestyle, because when you have a lifestyle that you love that complements your work, there's an overflow that happens with all of your clients as well. So we talk about lifestyle design, we talk about growing your business, we talk about what your wants are, and we do a lot of the tapping to release a lot of the blocks that might be stopping you from really going for the kind of life that you want. And then we have post-program support, which we're actually in with our current training right now. We have a month after that program support where you can check in, ask questions. We do a few different masterclasses to help you wrap up the program. This season, we're doing a lot of really cool check-ins with everyone around technique. And we're going to do, which I haven't told my coaches yet, next week we're going to do another money mastery to wrap up the program. So there's lots of support all the way through. You get your questions answered. One of the things that I love most about this group, which I know my students love the most, I don't think I even have it written on here, is we have a WhatsApp group. So literally, I'm here on the phone with you all the time. So if you have a question, you can ask questions. If something's coming up in a session, you can ask. I'm there available. My team is there available. And then you all have each other as well. So there's a lot of growth that happens. There's voice notes that are going through. Everyone's leaving little video messages. It's a really beautiful community vortex. Then in addition, you'll have your weekly tapping trades, group discussions, tapping immersions, live curriculum, pre-recorded content that comes out every week. You'll also have a Dream Awake mentor assigned to you. So every month you'll meet with a mentor to go over your questions, your needs, where you might be stuck in the program, ways that we can support you to move through stuff. And that's a really great support system. And that mentor also reports back to me, telling me where you're at every week. And we get to really understand where you guys are in the training to best support you. And then every week there's live Q&A with me in addition to support in programming materials every week. So if you've got questions, you can show up to those live classes. If you can't make the live classes, you can always leave the questions in the WhatsApp group. I'll respond directly, or I will respond to them in the live class and you can watch it on the replay. So the program dates, it's run in 4 phases over a 6-month period with the additional month to make it 7 months for the integration. This is a little example, and you can also go to the landing page and see what happens week by week. So basically, you'll get personal study every week. There'll be tapping trades. Every Monday, you get access to the live class, the pre-recorded classes. And then on Tuesdays, either at 10 a.m., which is this time now, PST, you'll get a live class, or 6 p.m. PST, you'll get a live class. So some of you that I know that are in Europe, you'll have two to three classes a month. If you want to stay up super late, you can. People that are in Australia or New Zealand, also the same. People in USA can usually attend both. But there's so much support going on in the WhatsApp group as well as in the portal. And then you can show up to the live classes as well. And then once a month, you obviously have your mentoring call. This is an example of some of the people that I'm working with, Deepak and Miguel Ruiz. You can do this all from the comfort of your home. This is 100% online. I used to do retreats around this, but having 6 months to really dive in, you can go at your own pace. You can go as fast as you want. You can keep up with everyone. You can have a pause. You'll have the content for life. So as I mentioned at the start, we're opening up early bird, and this early bird is open to 14 people. So we are only going to have an opening for the early bird for 14 people because I want to create a deep mastermind container. So if you really want to get in on the early bird, then sign up as soon as you can, or schedule a call with me so that we can really talk about it. And if you attended this live class with me or are watching the replay, and you schedule a call, we'll still put you at the top of the list in terms of being able to be one of those 14, even if you want to book a call with me first and have a little bit more of a discussion. So the WhatsApp mastermind will take us straight into the program. That's going to be for the smaller group before the program starts. So once again, you're going to have me every day. I'll be available and we can talk on WhatsApp around what these little workshops are going to be that you're going to get free access to. So this is what's going to happen from now until the 1st of November. We have a tapping foundations and practice to create lasting change class. So you're going to learn some of the basics of tapping, some of the methods. You're going to start to practice them. As I said, this is such an amazing way to start. So when the program actually begins, you're going to have this as a foundation. So you're going to start with flying colors. We're also going to talk and do some sessions around self-healing and self-care as a coach, which is really important. And I think some coaches in the past, or if you're already a healer, you might often get burnt out as a healer because you're showing up so much for people. So we really talk about how to take care of your emotional, mental, spiritual, physical well-being. We're going to do taps on that, whether it be creating healthy boundaries around your energy in your life, how to manage clients, and so that you can continue to feel balanced in your own life. Then we go into up-leveling your coaching confidence. So this is something that I'm sure a lot of us will really appreciate from today, because I know that there was a lot about fear, imposter syndrome, self-doubt. So we really start clearing out a lot of your coaching confidence before we even start the program. We'll do a really deep tapping masterclass on that so that you can really get confident to start and dive in. And then we do a workshop around passion to profit. So you'll explore different strategies for attracting new clients, building a strong client base, marketing techniques. And a lot of this is really deep information that you will get to then use throughout the program, as well as you step into really sharing your practice with the world. So these are the bonuses that you'll get for signing up today, and that will take you in over the next few months together in a more intimate setting. Like I said, we're going to bring 14 people into that container. Once the program starts, it's going to start out at the very start of November. You'll get access to these additional trainings as well. So we do a 2-day business breakthrough retreat. And this is a really powerful one if you really want to grow your business online and you want to really discover how to attract people online. Like all of you that are here today, most of you I've probably met online. Some people maybe a live event in person, but you've got to discover how to create a lead magnet, how to do discovery calls, how to create a professional layout in your website. And we actually build it together. So we have 2 days of build. So everyone opens up their computers in the lead up to this particular business breakthrough retreat. You're all creating your bios, you're creating videos, you're creating all the content, and then we show you how to build it. So we spend 2 days building that together. So by the end of the program, you've basically built your offering online. There's also a lot of other stuff that happens in the program, in the business training, to attract new clients, to share your message with the world, to start really reaching out and letting people know about your offerings, and then how to close people through discovery sessions and things like that. You'll get your own printed tapping journal sent to you in the mail, which helps you have your own process and your own practice throughout the program. You'll get an Activate Your Vision masterclass, which is an amazing masterclass to do before the program starts to get really clear on what you want to manifest in the program. There's a business startup kit that we give to you all as a bonus as well. And this is like something that I really wish I had when I did all of my trainings in all of the different methods, which is like the legal documents, the waivers, the privacy policies, consent forms, all of the things that makes your business legit. So as you expand, all of that is taken care of and you don't come up against any hurdles. So we have like fill in the blank templates that you can put on your website or to share with clients or to track packages, to take your clients through different processes. We have all of this stuff outlined so that you can have that for your business. We also have a tapping on trauma masterclass and a lot of materials that help you work with deeper trauma layers. So some of the things that we discussed today is like, oh my God, I don't know how I'll show up for people if they're going through something really intense. Therefore, maybe I'm not going to show up at all. So we talk about some of the things that might be really hard to get through: suicide, sexual trauma, PTSD, childhood abuse, physical abuse, anxiety attacks, death, letting go. All of these kinds of things are pretty serious stuff that can come up in sessions. And if you don't know how to handle it, as a coach, you can go into fear. So we have like suicide prevention checklists. We have scripts for healing sexual trauma. We talk through working through different psychological imbalances. We have lots of different scripts that you can practice as you get comfortable. And that's all part of the trauma masterclass. So as you can see, this particular early bird, we're also giving a discount. So it's going to be $500 off if you do sign up today. It's $4,500 for the 6-month program. You can also split the program into payments of 13 at $387 a month. And the reason why we love to really bring the price down, a couple of years ago, we used to do it at $7,000. And we just found that it was a little bit above a lot of people's price range. So that's why we've brought it to this. The program is just filled with so much content that we feel like this price is a reachable price for most people. If you do want to have a chat with me, I am taking calls. So in the past, I would have our mentors, our lead teachers take calls, but I realized that I really want to connect with everyone, and so that I can really give my honest opinion to you if it's the right fit as well. So if you do have questions about the program and you want to ask me directly, then feel free to schedule a call. Like I said, that I'll honor the 14 people. If you're one of those that come from this live class and you're still making a decision, you need to do the call first. Please just schedule a call. If you do go ahead and book straight away, I will book a call with you anyway, because I want to meet everyone that's coming in before the program starts. So as you can see, this is like a very hands-on program. We like to keep the containers intimate, so everyone gets a lot of support. I show up really deeply in the program. I'm invested with everyone really deeply. And I also want to make sure that it's the right fit as well. So feel free if you want to schedule a call and talk about it, or if you feel like, yes, this is a total yes, book now, and then we can schedule a call later to talk a little bit more about what your dreams and what your visions are. So what we're doing, we're also offering a 30-day money back guarantee. So once the program has started, if you do the program for 30 days and complete all the materials and it's still not feeling in alignment with you, then we'll give you 100% money back. So there is no risk there. We want to make sure you really get a taste of the container and the level of support so that you can really feel it. Obviously, there's so much that goes into these containers, and we really want to show up. So giving you 100% satisfaction guarantee, we're totally cool with doing that. And also that's why we like to have a call with you, or we like to drop in, and I like to really learn how I can best support you. So that is there. If after 30 days you're still not into it, we're totally cool to give you your money back. All right, so we've got the 4 pillars that we went over. You've got your tapping trainings, your master classes, immersions with me. We bring in a couple of different mentors into the program. We have a marketing expert that comes in to talk about selling packages. And she's one of our graduates who's also doing really well. You have an instant community of tappers. What many of my graduates will tell you is like one of the favorite things they love about this community is like they've really created family for life. I literally was just on Instagram yesterday, like different people are connecting in person for the first time. They're traveling to each other's countries, and it's really, really a deep community. In the WhatsApp group, it's really powerful. So we have a few things that happen in the WhatsApp group. We have our regular day-to-day chat. We have another chat for tapping trades. So literally everyone is in there on a daily basis, like, I'm going through something. Can someone help me this afternoon? And everyone's helping each other out. They're hopping on, they're doing tapping trades together. We have a 60-hour tapping trade investment in order to get your certification. So everyone's getting their hours together. And it's a really deep community. If you can imagine, you're growing, you're healing, you're helping each other. By the time you get to the end of the program, everyone kind of feels a little sad because it's like, oh, we're so close. And I keep telling them, don't worry, we continue on forever, because once the program's complete, we move everyone into a larger WhatsApp group. So everyone still has everyone's support in that group as well. But yeah, it's just like such a beautiful family. As you can see, some of the people that I work with, Mind Valley, Brendan Brashard, lots of different people. You can also see some of the changes that different students have gone through in the program. You can come and check out their testimonials. Genevieve was really amazing. So she did the money tap on week 3, and she just like immediately made 14K after doing the money tap. So she was just like hit the ground running. She took the information, she did the work, and things started manifesting for her. We also have Sarah, who started bringing the work into as an actor. She started creating workshops for those that want to create their creative potential and their artistic endeavors. Michelle, who's like such a shining, amazing example. She has built her business. She said that after the program, she doubled her income every single month and is making more money than she's ever made in her whole life. You can see other things. There's personal transformations that are taking place, people really stepping into their power and their purpose. Patricia, she moved country. She's now creating workshops, and everyone really activated their own unique codes, from personal healing to business healing to stepping into their power. And there's just like so many more testimonials to share as well. I'm sure there's some of our coaches on the chat right now. If anyone that's a graduate wants to share in the chat, you can share anything that you discovered or got from the program. But there's just so much outstanding support. There's so many ways that you can take this practice and go a little bit deeper. If you guys have got any questions at all, we are opening this particular program for the early bird up until when do we finish? We've got the early bird open until the 29th of August. And then the first 14 people that sign up, we're going to bring into the early bird masterclass series. So if you've got any questions or you want to know anything about the training, you can go ahead and just write it in the chat. And I can see if we have anything that wants to be gone over. So cool to see all your messages. Most powerful EFT I've ever done is with you. Thank you, Anna. Yes, yes. When we tap, something new always comes up. Yes, so happy for you, Mary. You're so deep. I'm so happy that we've gone so deep. We did the last training together. I'm going to continue together. Awesome. Awesome. Cannot recommend this program enough. Yay, Melanie, one of our amazing coaches. So to book a call with Victoria, if you go onto the page, you can scroll down and there's a little button to book a call, and I'll schedule some time with you to jump in. Beautiful. Thank you so much, Jan. So good to chat with you. Are you available to meet on Zoom for the call? Yes. So we do all of our discovery calls on Zoom. It requests a phone number. We just take your phone number to remind you. So on the discovery, I love that you already jumped into it. So when you put your phone number in, you just get a text message on the day reminding you to join us. You'll also receive an email with the link to the Zoom. If we schedule a call for tomorrow, is the early bird still honored? Yes, it is, Victoria. So the early bird is still honored, of course. And it would be my absolute honor to jump on a call with you and talk about it. And yeah, like I said, this is family, and we drop in deep. It's my deepest honor to get to know you, to learn about you. When we all go through the program, 6 months is a big chunk of time. So we really get to know each other very well. We have students that go through so many things in the program. So it's not just about learning the method. I can see Lucy nodding her head there. Another graduate from the program. I'm sure she could also share that, we just watch each other move through so much, going through breakups and going through transitions with work and going to the hospital. Like, there's things happen in life, right? And when we get to really show up for each other, we're practicing the method with each other. We're helping each other heal, and we're growing as a community too. And so you don't just get this amazing method and become a powerful healer. You get a beautiful family for life. You get me as your ally. And as I mentioned, we do like to keep the containers intimate. So you do get a lot of attention from me as well. So yeah, it's my deepest honor. Veda, if you want to just add the link to the sales page there again. If you guys have got questions, please schedule a call with me. It would be my honor to jump on a call with you, get to know you more, and see if it is a right fit. Otherwise, I want to thank you all for showing up, for staying a little bit over today as well. As you can see, I'm a bit of an overgiver. All of our classes are sometimes meant to be 90 minutes, and we always go over because I love to give, and there's so much to share. So thank you for sharing your time with me today and doing a process that hopefully upgraded you and your confidence to know your mission and why you're here. I will be sending out a replay for this as well if you want to do the tap again. And yeah, Mary, this was amazing per usual. Love you, sister. All right, my love. So hopefully we'll see you in the program. As I mentioned, the early bird is going to open up very soon. So we'll be doing our masterclass series for that. And yeah, looking forward to connecting with you all deeper. Thank you, Angel. Super magical. Thank you, Isabel. Yes, we'll be sharing the replay. Okay, my love. So we'll see you guys very soon. Please don't hesitate to reach out. Any questions whatsoever, we're here to help you. We're here to support. And if it feels aligned and inspiring, let's make it happen. All right, we'll see you all soon. Ciao for now.